1, 2, 2. Test, 1, 2, 2, 2. Testing, 1, 2. 2, 2, 2. That's probably about right.
Matt's already given a test to 5 Street.
Yep.
So I don't know if you want to have a listen and you want to go with that.
Well,
No, whatever you did last week, you'd have your levels from last week. Just
come down a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. I'll turn the master down. Instead of it being 0, I've got it at sort of negative 10. So, and I've turned. Yeah, I can. No, because that screen there just shows what's being put on the on, like, as far as ads and stuff go. So I watch it on my phone. I have my phone on there so we can see what's happening in case we miss something. I might. Yeah, I will. I will.
Anyway, I'll go up there.
All right, mate.
And welcome to Football SA's live stream of the WNPL finals, continuing here tonight at Vallo Football Centre. It's preliminary final night. It's win or die for these two teams, Salisbury Inter and Metro United. The winner will play Adelaide City next Friday night here in the grand final. The season is over for the loser. I'm Paul Marcachetti. Welcome to this Football SA live stream wherever you are. Joining me tonight is Spiro Karanikos-Mimis again. How are you, Spiro?
Good evening, Paul, and good evening, everybody. What a fantastic evening it is. Last week in Adelaide, last Friday, it snowed. Today, an absolutely beautiful 30 degrees during the day. It's about 27 now. As you can probably hear, there is still a little bit of a breeze, but perfect conditions for a massive preliminary final. It
is absolutely perfect for tonight's game. As you mentioned, a little bit breezy, but it doesn't look like it'll be really much that'll sort of unsettle any play whatsoever. And in a very bit of good news, obviously, we don't scare people off too much, Spiro, up from this commentary area, because Nicole Tilley has rejoined us after being with us 2 weeks ago for the Cup final. How are you, Nicole?
I'm good, thank you. I'm back.
Oh, it's good to have you back. And I'll just remind viewers at home that we will call you Tilly during the evening, as per your instructions a fortnight ago, in case anyone tuning in tonight wasn't watching the Cup final. But commiserations on West going out last week, but good for us because we've got you up here calling the game with us.
Yeah, oh, that's okay. Yeah, it's exciting to be back.
That was a very polite way of saying I'd rather be on the park tonight. But hey, commiserations about last week. Let's quickly address last week's game and then we won't raise it again. An unfortunate one...
Except for all the bits where it's relevant to tonight's game, but anyway.
An unfortunate 1-0 loss last week to Metro United. What happened, I suppose, is the only logical question we can ask you.
Yeah, I'm not a whole lot sure, to be honest with you. It just... it didn't seem to click. It wasn't flowing as well as we'd hoped or we'd had done in the past. Metro did come out firing and it was quite an aggressive game. And I don't know if we just weren't ready for it or just not our night. But yeah, unfortunately, that's our season over.
Surmised beautifully. Yeah, I can tell you're still burning a little bit about it, but we won't go too much into it. Of course, Metro, who won last week 1-0 against West, are here tonight to play this preliminary final against Salisbury Inter, who lost 3-1 against Adelaide City. Salisbury Inter probably feeling a bit aggrieved to be in this game as well, majority of last week, and then Dylan Holmes decided she'd score a hat-trick in the last 9 or so minutes, Paul, and gave City another grand final berth.
One of the most extraordinary individual performances. You'll see what she put off, and she'd had a really good game up until then. It's not like she suddenly exploded to life, but she really just turned it right around and gave City a huge win after they'd been trailing for so much of the night. But what I thought was interesting last week was that both teams that were underdogs were leading 1-0 for so long, and obviously Metro were able to finish it off and Inter weren't. But what I think we might see tonight will be interesting, because Metro go into this game as underdogs, as they did last week. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but it might be a tougher assignment for them, because Salisbury Inter has got a massive array of goal scoring options this year, and yes, we could say the same about West last week, but probably the sort of form that and the sort of numbers that Inter have up forward is going to make it really, really hard for Metro tonight. I think, Nicole, do you see Metro's attack? I mean, if this gets into a shootout, that would be the last thing Metro would want, surely.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to go. I can only assume that it's going to be a hard, even sort of game. But yeah, if it does get there, yeah, I'm not sure. I can't even predict who's going to win. Probably Inter, but I'm not sure.
Tonight's WNPL final series match is proudly presented by RAA. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Home motor travel. Keep on moving with RAA. We're going to leave you for a second, folks, because the teams are coming out and there'll be a national anthem, and we'll get back to you with the lineup straight after the national anthem. And of course, as fate would have it, there's no national anthem tonight, so we do apologise about that. Let's quickly go through the Salisbury Inter lineup for you. They are the home team tonight. Their starting lineup in goals, it's Fryer McLaren, then it's Coimsis, Calder and Mullen, Pavlo Manolakos, Ryder, Tansel, Quigley, Rojas, Hood and Nishitani. Of course, Nishitani missed out last week because of a red card in the final round. The name that you will notice that is not there, of course, is none other than Emily Condon, who's out with concussion. She got a heavy knock to the head from the ball, would you believe, last week. It was a wet ball, and she's out with concussion. On the bench for Inter, we've got Gardner, Broigdenberg, Hazelwood, Tibakutis, Harmer and Papanikitis.
Metro United's lineup is unsurprising tonight. Commons in goal, number 90. At the back, it's Kuha, Kiriakou, the captain, Scalzi and Green. The midfield will be 6 Stockdale, 13 Reid and 38 Bilardo. Bills will push up on the attacking left, number 10. Christy Moore on the attacking right, 23. And probably one out up front, as she was last week, will be Donna Cockayne, number 14. The subs are Scott, Steer, Cotgrove, Budge and Calabria.
Still no Stella Ragon for Metro United either. Didn't get up this week. Stella missed last week's game too. You'd think if Metro is going to get something out of this tonight, Paul and Tilly, you would think they need to be just as disciplined as they were against West Adelaide last week.
Yeah, I think so. They'll need to... a lower scoring game, I think, will suit Metro. They've had trouble finding the back of the net this season. But as I said, if it's a shootout, then I think it's really going to be Inter that come out on top. And they've got the kick-off. Pavlo Manolakis playing the ball back to her centre-back in Calder. An early touch there for Fryer McLaren. As we said, it's a really nice night here. Couldn't be a bigger contrast to the weather of last week. Inter just happy to start these opening few seconds with a bit of control at the back. Cockayne, we expect, as she did last week, will do a power of running up forward on her own. And you can already see that when you see the sort of back towards the Metro midfield, that they're sort of setting up 2 big lines of white that they're going to try to keep for themselves to stop Inter from breaking through as best they can.
Now there's one player who had an absolute standout performance last week, Laura Stockdale, and you'd think she'd need to be on that type of form again tonight to get Metro firing.
Absolutely, she was absolutely superb, combative as always, and really was the engine that kept Metro going for so much of the game. That free kick is going to go all the way through and going to give an early corner for Metro.
The wind is favouring the side that Metro is kicking to. That's the southern end. That's the end of the goals that leads towards the Adelaide CBD. So that's the southern end. And it's a decent one, Paul, I'd say. It's a fair breeze.
Yeah, it has picked up a little bit this evening. Of course, set pieces are Metro's friend in these big games. They're very good at them. That free kick gets towards Kiriakou, but Mullen was able to get the ball away. Kiriakou's managed to win it back, though. Stockdale might get the ball back in. She might even try a shot, Laura Stockdale, but was well blocked by Hood. It's going to be a throw for Metro, and good start from them. They come into this game underdogs. They were last week as well. And they have, however, a lot of players very experienced in these sorts of games. Now, Rojas is going to be able to get onto the clearance. She hasn't got an awful lot of support at the moment. So she brings the ball inside and finds Quigley. Quigley tries to play it through, but that's intercepted. And here's Bills. Long ball now.
Just noting, Paul, that Tracy Jenkins has kept faith with Coimsis in defence for Inter, and Nishitani playing a left wing role, which is we don't really see her play much there. She's usually a left back. So backing in the back four is Tracy Jenkins, the Inter coach this week.
Well, they did a pretty good job last week, and they were not that far away from pulling off a win, but it wasn't to be for Inter, and tonight they try again to qualify for the grand final. Now, they might have a corner if Commons can't get there. No, she will very, very comfortably.
Commons taking a small risk there and deciding not to pick up the ball. Not sure it would have been called a back pass if she had collected it. And it's a bit loose from Stockdale, and that'll be a throw-in for Inter. Just ticked over into the 4th minute here at Varlow. Of course, this is an elimination game. It will go into extra time and penalties if required if the game is a draw at full time. Here's Salisbury Inter now. Here's Mullen. Mullen, can she cut it back to Quigley? Nishitani following up. Rojas, great block by Scalzi. Superb defending by Isabella Scalzi. She had a great game last week, and in the way again was the central defender. And Mullen causing all types of grief there for Metro's defence. Got in behind. The cutback was a clever one. And danger early for Metro. Falls to Scalzi again, and she clears it.
It's easy to forget, of course, but Mallory Mullen was very close to getting onto a ball to put into 2-0 ahead late in the game.
Here's Quigley. What a turn by Rachel Quigley. 1-0. That is world class. Absolutely world class from Rachel Quigley. Left the defender for dead, standing flat-footed in the middle of the box, and all she had to do was knock it past Commons. And Salisbury Inter have taken a very, very early 1-0 lead thanks to the diminutive Rachel Quigley. And if you haven't seen Rachel play before, you might be shocked to see that, but if you have, you know that's what she's capable of doing week in, week out. That's standard for her, but what a turn. Absolutely left Kiriakou
Great ball too.
standing there. Absolutely right, Nicole. And that's the perfect start for Inter, but Metro getting in behind really quickly with Christy Moore. Christy Moore looks to cross it in, and that's clearly a corner and well defended by the Inter captain, of course, who scored last week, Chantel Ryder. Nicole, what a start.
Yeah, that was a great goal. Shout out to Quigs. They're looking pretty good, but it's also been down here a lot, and we know Metro can do well off of set pieces, as I would know from last week. Unfortunately.
Here is the set piece, and it's going to fall out to Quigley, so she'll just play the ball to Nishitani, who is just going to put it up the wing.
As someone who's played against Rachel Quigley quite a few times, I would imagine, Nicole, what instructions do coaches give on how to defend her? Because her first touch is world class.
Well, I haven't, not personally on her, but yeah, look, she's really experienced. Her touches and her vision is, obviously really good. She's played at a high level. But yeah, probably just squeeze on her, don't give her a lot of time, try not to let her turn like she's just done. But yeah, definitely one to watch.
Inter now building up on the right-hand side, and here is Quigley again. But this time Reed's just able to nip the ball away from her, but it's going to be a throw, which Coimpsis will take. Calder. Ryder. This is really not what Metro wanted. They probably don't have a huge amount of goals in them. There's a good ball from Mullen and a good touch from Quigley for Rojas. Rojas now finds some space and shoots! That one was comfortable enough for Commons. But Metro, they've struggled to score this season. In the 14 league matches, they only scored 19 goals. They got one last week, one very important one. They're able to keep West out, but if they let Inter get away, it's going to be very, very hard for them to get back. Of course, their forward line's a bit blunted with the absences of Panagaros and Stella Regon.
Does Tony Scalzi immediately change tactics here, Nicole, or do you stick with... Oh, sorry, let's see if this runs through to Nishitani. Or do you look to keep the course?
I think it's still early. I reckon stick to what they've come out to try and do. See if they can pull one back. If not, something's going to have to change, probably.
It's going to be a throw to Tansel. It was very good last week. They all were really in the back four for Inter, but it all came unstuck in the last 8 or 9 minutes. Rojas. Nishitani's run on. It's back to Tansel. Inboard to Pavlomanolakis. Quigley. Pavlomanolakis with space. tried to get the ball out wide for Hood, but intercepted, and again headed on there by Bilardo. It's going to be a foul on Calder.
Tonight's WNPL final series match is proudly presented by RAA. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Home, motor, travel. Keep on moving with RAA. Apologies for that. I activated the Siri on my watch, folks. I'll take that off. If you're wondering what that person in the background talking, definitely wasn't our special guest commentator, which is Nicole Tilley from West Adelaide.
Surely it's a matter of time before we can say Siri commentate the game.
Yeah, got it, boys.
Here's Rojas. Rojas has done magnificently well. That's a bit of a letdown from the Chilean. She had done superbly well to turn her opponent. And again, very much danger signs for Metro. The final delivery, though, by Rojas, who, we haven't said this often, maybe even not at all this season, was kept goalless last week.
Yeah. I don't know how many games she hasn't scored in, but it's definitely not too many.
Well, her...
scored how many this year?
I think it's like
24 from the 14 league
Super
games.
Impressive.
So, not often she doesn't score. Here's Scousey. It's a good switch. Green. Down the line. I was a bit optimistic trying to get it through there. I believe it was Bills. That's a handball. Referees decided nothing going. But Ryder looked like she controlled the ball with her hand, given the benefit of the doubt. Back to Fryer McLaren. And this game right now is exactly where Salisbury Inter need it. Nicole Calder wearing the captain's armband tonight. Intercepted nicely by Cockayne. Kuha. All the way back to Commons. Good switch of play here by Metro. Here's Green. Did well to keep the ball after pressure from Nishitani. Just want to throw in.
Tilly, tell us about Nishitani, former teammate of yours until recently at West Adelaide. Where did West pick her up from, and what sort of player and person she is?
Yeah, so Mina joined us 2, maybe even 3 years ago, when Kevin McCormick was in charge. She sort of just rocked up one day, and it was kind of cool to have someone who's just moved from Japan. She used to obviously play over there, but just sort of packed up and came over, so it was pretty cool. She's a really cool kind of chick to have on your team. She's loves training. She's always there early, always kicking, juggling with herself, kicking against the wall. Yeah, really dedicated. So I'm really happy to see her out there today.
She's very talented footballer is Misha Nishitani. Would it be fair to say that she was somewhat controversially sent off in the last game of the season?
I think she was the last player. I don't think there was too much doubt about that one. Of course, it was in this fixture. It was in this match. Well, a match between these two sides.
Here's Mullen. She's trying to put on the afterburners, but well harassed there by Bilardo. Switch now from Mullen. Probably wasn't aiming to get it to Tansel, but it's fallen there. And there's Quigley getting things under control. Pablo Manolakos to Calder. As you can hear, the wind is quite strong. Probably picked up, actually, since the game started. In fact, definitely, because our papers just went flying, but nevertheless.
We bring the weather, folks.
Yeah, Tansel, back to Rojas. Great first-time touch to Ryder. Ryder now switching to Calder. And again, Salisbury Inter just in control right now.
Game's being played on their terms. Christy Moore tries to change that, but Tansel was too good there. That ball's going to go a little bit too far. It's going to be a goal kick. We played 13 minutes of the preliminary final. Salisbury Inter 1, Metro 0. And let's not forget, Salisbury Inter trying to make history here into their first WNPL Grand Final if they win tonight. They did play in this fixture last year, Salisbury Inter, but they ran into an Adelaide City side who were on the rebound, Tilly, from a goal of yours the week before that put them into that game. And City won the prelim 5-1 against Salisbury Inter last year, but Salisbury Inter definitely the favourites tonight, and they've got off to just the start they wanted. But here's Metro trying to find the equaliser, but that's going to be cleared by Ryder. We're in the 14th minute. Some interesting fixtures, some interesting matches this fixture's given us over the years. In 2018, Metro did win this fixture 4-1 against West. That was, of course, the year that Metro won the premiership by 1 point over City when the teams met in the last round of the season and drew. But then City would go on and win the grand final. Metro also played in this fixture in 2017, and they lost to City 2-1 that night. That was a night in which Alex Chidiac pulled off an inspired last 15 or so minutes, in very similar to what Dylan Holmes did last week. It's Kiriakou. And the first prelim final, just pause for a moment. For a moment, it looked like Rojas might have got onto that. When we moved to a final series in 2016, was actually between City and Fulham. That was a 1-1 draw, and City won 5-4 on penalties. We'll go on to lose to Metro in the grand final. Metro under pressure, but Stockdale now has a pocket of space. Nishitani runs up to hassle her. Kuha up the wing. Some nice little triangles with Stockdale there. Trying to get more away, but ball's not going to quite reach her. Still got some control. Moore tries to turn, but that was well read by Ryder. Now Calder will be able to deal with the danger very easily. Fry McLaren, who's got a thumping kick.
That was against the wind, mind you.
Yeah. Can easily kick from keeper to keeper. That's great play by Kiriakou, goal scorer last week. And when we talk about Metro and goal scoring, with 3 goals, she's actually, if you count the final, she's actually equal leader for Metro. That's the unfortunate side of where they've been at this season. 3 goals to Christy Moore, 3 goals to Stockdale, 3 to Panagaris before her injury, and 3 to Ebony Kiriakou. Not a Golden Boot winner at the club you'd expect, Spiro.
No, absolutely not. But she can hit him if she gets a free kick in this position, and that's probably going to get picked up by the wind and too much on it in the end for Christy Moore. As we saw it between these two teams in the last round of the season, Ebony took the free kick just after Nishitani had been sent off and sent it where the Spiders live, Paul. You perfectly called that goal that night, and she can hit them. So expect something. If they do get a foul around the box, expect her to step up. Last week, of course, was a headed goal. Sorry, Nicole. We will eventually stop talking.
Okay,
Nicole's being polite. She's just sitting here nodding. We will eventually.
She's sort of like, we lost last week. Do you have to keep mentioning it, guys?
Rojas plays it back to Calder. Coincis all the way back to Fry McLaren. And again, Metro not really interested when the ball's in the with the inter-defenders. They'll compress quickly as soon as it gets sort of into the midfield, as it has now with Tansel. And that's a dangerous ball by Tansel. And here's a chance for Cockayne. Well, that was very lucky. And Cockayne is asking for a pass back, and it was interesting because I think Ryder was in 2 minds about whether to intercept or take a touch, and she ended up she did get an awkward deflection on it, but I'm not sure there was an intent to pass it back to the keeper. But what it did do, that deflection, was actually slow the ball down and almost got Cockayne through. Kuha, Stockdale, good 1-2, back to Kuha. Unfortunately, that's gone out for a throw-in.
I think the deflection in that particular passage of play is what saved Inter from conceding the free kick for the pass back.
Fry McLaren now, ex-Adelaide United and Sydney FC goalkeeper. Calder down the line for Rojas. Rojas beautifully cut out by Scalzi. Did really well there, the central defender, to time that run. Great play here by Metro. Some excellent triangle balls, and just couldn't get it through, and was well defended by Coimsis.
Hey, Fry McLaren played on the very first weekend of the W League for Adelaide United.
Wow.
And the following week, Donna Cockayne made her debut for Adelaide United. They both go back to the club's very first season in the W League.
Something you don't see very often at a semi-professional level. Foul throw given by the referee. Not sure if Metro had a bit of sympathy there for Inter, but they gave it straight back. And here's Calder. Long raking ball for Rojas. Clever ball. She knows she'll probably have the pace on Kiriakou, but Kiriakou expertly defended and in fact won the foul for Metro. And that was beautifully done by the centre back there, because if that had gotten through, Rojas would have had her for pace for sure, but her experience came through.
Commons now with the relieving free kick. Well, in all the things I've seen in football, I don't think I've ever seen a game in which a team has won 6-2 and the losing side's keeper has still managed to save 2 penalties.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what happened when these two teams last played, and Melanie Commons saved from both Rojas and Quigley, if you don't mind.
A lot of very good goalkeepers have tried and failed that.
Yes. Now here is Rojas trying to turn. Players all around her. Quigley, good play. Tries to get it back to Rojas. It's a good ball, but she's just straight offside. The Metro's held the line well.
First offside for Salisbury Inter tonight.
Tonight's WNPL final series match is proudly presented by RAA. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Home motor travel. Keep on moving with RAA. Stockdale tries to get the ball back up the wing and has managed to do so, but it's all very tight in there. And hopeful ball for Moore is not going to find her. Here's Nishitani with a bit of space. And Rojas also has some space. Can she get the other side of Scalzi? Good defending by Scalzi, but Rojas still has it. Tries to bring it back inside. Nishitani, oh, she's not gotten hold of it, but Inter still have it with Quigley. White shirts all around her, and in the end, that told. Oh, and Stockdale's ball was misdirected. Sorry, it wasn't Stockdale. It was Velado. And Inter's going to have the chance to bring it back.
Nicole, almost halfway through this first half. How have you seen the first 21 or so minutes?
Yeah, obviously it was a great start from Salisbury with Quiggs getting the goal. Inter seem on top to me, but definitely I wouldn't put it past Metro at least scoring sometime in this game. Just not sure when.
That's the voice of Nicole Tilley, our special guest commentator tonight, West Adelaide forward.
Yeah, it's a free kick here and a yellow card. And just trying to work out.
I think it was Quigley who got booked.
Yeah. It's for a foul on Scalzi. The ref was very quick to pull the card out. And, well, don't see a lot of...
Just watched it on delay there, Paul, and that was a very, very tasty challenge from Rachel Quigley.
Yeah. Nishitani. Quigley. She's going to have to be careful now, because there's a long way to go. Make sure you don't want to get another one. Of course, don't see a lot of yellow cards in this competition. Actually, the numbers are happily very, very low. But the finals tend to go up another gear, and of course we saw 2 yellow cards become a red last week. And Rachel Quigley's got to make sure that she gets through 3/4 of this match without getting another ticket. Not a player that does get them at all regularly, so shouldn't be too hard for her.
There's a red card in the reserves preliminary final too, Paul.
That's right. That was a straight red.
Cost the Metro players their spot on the bench for the first team.
Halfway through the first half, the preliminary final 2020 WNPL Salisbury into 1, Metro United 0.
Bit of a stalemate right now. I think Inter really just happy to explore their options, knock it around a bit. Here's Quigley. Oh, Scousy's done well again. Well, Mullins with a overhead. That should be Commons. Well, that was adventurous from Merrily Mullen and connected beautifully, but a bit wide in the end. And just, I don't know, a bit of a, do you think calling it a stalemate at this point is unfair or about right? We'll just stop here. Here's Rojas, just getting to the 18-yard box. She cuts at the top, and this Scousy again. That's about her 4th or 5th interception tonight, Scousy.
Now, if Rojas had just looked up there, she'd have seen that Commons was way out of position, but she just didn't lift her eyes in time to perhaps try an adventurous shot.
Scousy again. Here's Christy Moore. Fantastic footballer is Christy Moore. Of course, ex-Australia and England international. I've seen her in the last sort of month play right back, left midfield, right wing. Tonight it's predominantly left wing. Just such a player who can go into any position and do a job for you. And
still flying past a lot of younger players as well.
Exactly right. Here's Rojas. Rojas scored 2 goals at the Copa America in 2018 for Chile. It's a loose one from Ryder and ended up splitting Hood and Tansel, and Metro throw in. Reed, quick 1-2, he's got it back. Down in the line looking for Stockdale. Stockdale's not going to chase that, and smart decision really, because you probably noticed the ball carried all the way through for a goal kick.
Tilly, you would have faced those fullbacks a fair bit, Tansel and Coimsis. They're not what you'd call among the huge names in the comp, but they're both doing a pretty good job. I mean, you find them tricky opponents?
Yeah, especially Shani, I think it is. Yeah, she's physical. That's something I hadn't really seen much of her before, and I thought, you know, she's really coming to play. Physical, not afraid to put her body on the line, and yeah, she's technically looking pretty good too. So I think she's only pretty young still too.
Just Rojas is through on goals here. She's got 2 for company though. Kodo Rojas switches it out to Hood. Hood decides to hold off crossing, and in the end is harassed out of it. She was fantastic last week, Shani Tansel, against Adelaide City, and really did a good number on Di Bartolo and Dorba, who were quiet by their standards. And that's easy for Commons, and that was down to the great work of Tansel and Coimsis.
And Coimsis, yeah, they both were very good last week.
And it so much so that when Di Bartolo and Dorba switched wings last week, Coimsis and Tansel switched with them. Such was the job that they were doing, and really Tracy Jenkins backed them in, and really they didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't any of their direct opponents who ended up scoring those goals for Adelaide City, but Shani Tansel, bright future. I have to agree with you. From what I've seen with her, very physical, can run up and down, get really far forward, and just has a motor on her, and an excellent fullback for Inter. And the amazing thing is that they regularly switch the Inter fullbacks, and you'll see that now that Coimsis has actually come to the left back, and Tansel's gone to right back, and they'll do that regularly. So a lot of flexibility with Coimsis and Jenkins for Inter. Here's Rojas now, playing it through. There's Kiriakou. Metro having some good passages of play through the middle, but that final ball's been lacking tonight. But they've got the triangles working pretty well through the guts. And Reed and Stockdale and Bilardo doing quite well, but just can't get it up to Cockayne and Bills quickly enough. And that's the sort of thing that's been happening. Calder's been intercepting, and Inter, they do look comfortable in defence, but Reed has gotten now to Stockdale. Moore cuts inside. Reverse ball to Stockdale. Will she have the legs? There's Tansel, player we just spoke about. An excellent covering by the Salisbury Inter defender. And that was a great reverse pass by Christy Moore, but awake was Shani Tansel.
So Fulham last year, Shani Tansel, former Cumberland player as well. Now Reed Going to try and get a ball in. It's not bad. Oh, it's gone through to McLaren, but very nearly found Cockayne. That was a good ball by Ness Reid. Now, interception. Through comes Bills. It's going to be dealt with by Calder. No, she does, in fact, in the end, get it out to Tansel.
That's the first time we've seen someone from Metro just try and maybe utilise a bit of this breeze and, you know, give a long cross and hope the wind picks it up and confuses the interkeeper. And it was definitely a very, very dangerous delivery. Just not a Metro player on the end of it, unfortunately for them.
Here's Green, former Campbelltown player. Tries to get Cockayne going. It's a good throw. Cockayne, she turned inside. Back to Green. Moore was in there. Good touch, but well read by Ryder. And the shot came in from Reid. It's not bad from Metro. Just finding a few ways to test the inter-defence. And they have settled into this game. Let's not forget they lost 6-2 to Salisbury Inter recently. So tonight's game doesn't look like it's going that way, even though Inter have the 1-0 advantage. Now Green again is going to deal with that. Oh, and not on the same wavelength there on that occasion with Bills. Quimsis' throw. Ryder. Nearly at the half-hour mark. Still into 1, Metro 0. Into eyeing off their first ever WNPL Grand Final appearance. Some of their players, decorated though they may be, haven't experienced the Grand Final themselves. Of course, a couple have. There's a good ball for, good call for Bills. And well intercepted by Coimsis, who might just have to concede the corner. But that might just give Metro an opportunity. It's their third corner. Haven't quite found the delivery they want just yet. But Laura Stockdale is going to try and change that now. Bills is up. Cockayne. More. Kiriakou comes up. Watch out for her. And the wind could help blow the ball in to a dangerous position. And Reid, it's in! 1-1. Would you believe it? Once again, Metro have found a way to score from a set piece. And this time it was Ness Reid.
Score by Metro United. Score is 1-1.
Well, it was a goal that they really needed. You might say that there's a long way to go, but we've talked about it on this coverage. It's been very, very difficult for them to score this season. And this game is alive.
Very nice header.
She really did get onto that very, very well at the back post. Great delivery by Stockdale, of course.
Isn't it amazing what finals football can do to a team, Paul? Metro had struggled all year, probably the best of the others to sneak into fourth. And over the last 2 weeks, have shown quality and a willingness to drive and win that we haven't really seen from them during the regular season.
Of course, they're going for a piece of history themselves, so we'll just pause while Moore's on the ball.
Christy Moore, bit of a heavy touch, but she should regain possession. She's got 2 for company, Nisachani and Mullen, and comfortable in the end for Salisbury Inter.
No team's ever come from fourth to make the grand final in the WNPL, so that would be a first if Metro did that. We've had first versus second and first versus third in the grand final, but fourth has never been there.
Green goes straight down the line. Ryder, bit of a hack forward, and Bilardo's there to clean it up for Metro. Beautiful pass by Green, finds Ness Reid, the goal scorer. Excellent header. Did take a slight deflection, but take nothing away from Reid. That header was full of power. Was going to be on target either way. Bills almost flicked it to Kuha, and Metro giving it away, and here's Inter on a break. Hood looks for a first time cross. And well defended again by Kiriakou. Sorry, that was Ness Reid. And Metro really in this game, it looked for all money that after Inter scored early, that it could have been a case of a runaway, but they've settled really well, Metro, and are right in this one. Stockdale. Well, the referees decided to award the foul there, and that looked like a slight knock on, I believe it's Bills out there.
Tilly, they're wily, aren't they, Metro? I mean, there's so many players that are so experienced. I mean, they'll find a way sometimes, won't they?
Yeah, I guess no matter how good or bad their season is going, they've still got a big name. They're still a big club. Yeah, a lot of these players have been playing together for 5, 6, 7 years. So yeah, they're a hard team to come up against, no matter what, really.
Just heading into the 35th minute here at Varlote. Score is 1-1. That's another decent ball by the Metro fullback in Hood. It did pick up a little bit from the win, and Calder's header was comfortable for Fryer McLaren. Calabria. Only as far as Nishitani. Rojas. Well, Nishitani's given away the foul. Referee indicating that he felt there was a high elbow there from Nishitani, but I've got to say I thought it was probably play on, but I'm not the person with a whistle, and it's that person's decision that counts, and it'll be a free kick for Ebony Kiriakou. You just saw there how strong that wind is. Carrying all the way through for a goal kick.
Tonight's WNPL final series match is proudly presented by RAA. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Home motor travel. Keep on moving with RAA. It's the 36th minute. 1-1. Calder. Quimsis. Back to Calder. Reid comes through. She's having a bit of a purple patch at the moment, Ness Reid. So remarkably, Metro, not only have they lost their last couple of fixtures to Inter, but they've lost them heavily. I mean, 6-2 and 5-1. And this game certainly doesn't have that complexion about it. Here's more. Great ball through. Cocaine, it just hit her around the back and gave the Inter defence a chance to retreat. Now, that's given away. And Pavla Manolakis is going to try to get it forward, but it's missed a lot of players. Good interception that time from Pavla Manolakis from Reid's attempt. Made up for that ball. That was Bills who tried that first time cross ball. I wonder if she had her time again. You just take a touch and settle, because it was on there. Stockdale. That's going to be Nishitani's. Oh, she's gone over her. Tansel's going to have to tidy up, and Inter have the numbers. Here's Mullen. She scoops the ball over really nicely for Quigley, who tries to get Rojas on her way. Cote Rojas might get there first. Well done, Commons. Timed it really well. Hood with the long effort. It's not going to be far enough, and just a casual little chest back from Kiriakou to Commons. Nothing going on at all. Long ball. Cocaine tries to get under it. Well won there by Calder. Now trying to turn is... Ooh, big tackle. But referee says that Stockdale won the ball, and Metro will go forward. Bills trying to take on Coimsis. It's going to go out for a throw. This is good stuff. And one of my favourite stats of meetings between these two teams, they've met 11 times. We'll just pause for a moment as Metro are in an attacking position. That's going to be cleared for a corner. They've met 11 times, 6 wins to Metro, 3 wins to Inter and 2 draws. But those 6 Metro wins were the first 6 meetings between these two clubs in 2017 and 18. And the 2 draws were the next 2 matches they played against each other. And then it's been the 3 wins to Inter in the last 3 games. Now, another corner for Metro. Kiriakou is on the move in the box. Now it might come to Stockdale, just over her. Ness Reid at the back post. Stockdale, it's cleared.
They look, sorry, Paul, I was going to say they look dangerous every time, Metro, from set pieces, don't they?
You don't want to give them too many opportunities. The last time Metro beat Inter, you have to go back to round 18 of 2018. Metro won that game 4-0. 2 goals from Rachel Quigley, and one of them was from Nicole Calder, and they're both playing for Inter tonight. Stockdale tries to take on Tansel, but she'll win that battle.
Throwing going to be taken by Green. Almost near the corner flag. Tansel again. We'll have a repeat of what we just saw with Green throwing it in. It's done well to find Bilardo. Nishitani got the deflection off Bilardo and it's fallen all the way to Cockayne. Here's Cockayne now. Decides to lay it out. Kuha, first time cross, great ball! Oh. First time effort by Bills.
Great ball.
It was an excellent ball. And Bills tried with a first time volley on her right, but just got away from her. But Metro with a big chance there. What an excellent ball that was from Kuha. But Bills just could not get the contact she desired. Inter have taken a quick goal kick, but they've given it away. Here's Christy Moore. Metro have their towels up right now. Probably the better of the 2 teams. Stockdale with a long shot. And it just looked like maybe it would sneak into the net. But in the end, it had a bit too much venom.
Tilly, do you reckon Inter are just a touch rattled, or are we perhaps just, overreacting a bit?
Yeah, no, I think Metro are definitely on top at this very moment. I don't know. Inter look a little bit sort of maybe flat-footed, and Metro are playing the ball around nicely. They're finding the spaces in behind. But yeah, Metro are definitely on top. So Inter are probably looking for the half time.
They've done that a few times into this half. They've gone that long ball looking for Rojas, and Metro have been clever and have either stepped up in time, got her offside, or managed to get back and get her under control. So they're really managing that potent strike force of Quigley and Rojas quite well. Great header by Ryder. Superb defending. Nishitani down the line. Here's Rojas. Great ball to Mullen. Now Mullen's got a lot of pace. Mullen, well done by Bilardo. She did really well to recover, and that's cleared by Kuha. Bills is going to put a bit of pressure on Quimsis, but in the end, the ball safely out for throw-in. Salisbury Inter will take it quickly all the way back to Fry McLaren. Of course, you can't pick it up. It's a rule changed a few years ago now, but keepers used to be able to pick it up from the throw-in, but not anymore. Calder. Ryder. Well, that's hit Bilardo fair and square in the head.
Not again.
And the referee will take a break here to check on Bilardo, of course, head injury.
Well, as we mentioned, Emily Condon's absent from the Inter side tonight with a concussion, quite probably due to that nasty cop in the head she got in the face last week. And gee, let's hope that's not another case here.
It was a very heavy and wet ball last week, and
referee signalling to the bench, which is never a great sign.
Seems to be a lot of concussions this year. I don't know if, yeah, definitely more than other years. I know we had a couple at West Adelaide. In Mallory a few weeks ago against us, I think. If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think the sort of environment around concussion in all sports right now is better safe than sorry.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're obviously seeing a lot more players coming off with concussion, or who will take a head knock and not continue, or compared to even maybe 2 or 3 years ago where the trainer might have given him 10 minutes to get back on there. It's almost now, well, we're not sure, you're off completely, and probably rightly so, I would say. Bilardo Nishitani's just having a bit of fun here, juggling the ball in front of us. 60, 65.
She loves it.
Bilardo turned her back, and the ball actually hit her on the back of the head. We're hoping that she's okay. The Metro trainer still checking with her. Nishitani's up to 150, but
this is something to see. It's not on camera, but Mina Nishitani is just showing all the skills here.
Yep, she finally gave up. They're just doing the check with Bilardo. Probably, where are you? What's the score? What's your number? And we'll just see if she was able to continue here.
Well, what's your number would be the hardest one.
Yeah, she's 38.
These days, in this era of Keno numbers going onto the back of players' shirts.
Yes, that's right. So she's going to have to go off Bilardo, and I'll make an assessment on the sidelines. Metro, we'll keep you up to date with that one. The subs are warming up, as you'd expect, with the possibility of a player coming off. And we'll just keep an eye out on that for you. Now, it should be a uncontested drop ball for Inter, because they were in possession. It'll be interesting to see how the referee handles this. But because the deflection off Bilardo went back to an Inter player, then the ref stopped the game, so it should be Inter's ball. I don't expect that he will ask them to give it back to Metro. No, it's a Salisbury Inter uncontested drop ball, which is the right decision. And we're off again. Calder. Back to Ryder. Nishitani. Couldn't get her foot around that one. Be a throw in. One player that we haven't heard a lot from, that I've seen a lot from tonight, Paul, is Pavlo Manolakos. I'll just pause there. Here's Quigley. Calder. Stockdale in her way, but Nicole Calder's done brilliantly well. Mullen. Bit of pressure from Cockayne. There's Pavlo Manolakos now, who's just slotted into centre back because Calder pushed forward. She's been a bit quiet tonight, the Salisbury Inter midfielder. Usually see her sort of zipping around in the middle of the park and creating, but...
I don't know about you, Tilly, but I still can't get used to seeing her wearing that shirt, not wearing the blue and white of West.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look, I'm happy for her. She's getting game time. And, yeah, the amount of ground she covers is, it's quite insane, really. But, yeah, not getting too many touches on the ball as maybe as normal, but, she's still doing her job.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Metro have surprisingly had a lot of the ball in this last period of the game, and perhaps not as many Inter players getting their foot on it altogether. Now it's going to come to Green. She's under pressure from Nishitani. Ricochets back to her. Stockdale. Ryder for Inter. Pavlo Manolakis says it looks like that switch is just going to hold for a little while with her at centre back and Calder pushing into that defensive midfield position. Ryder.
It's not a bad call from Jenkins, just to get Carissa some touches and get her involved, I think, because she's an important cog in that midfield, but she has been quiet.
Stockdale. Moore. Reed. Back to Moore. Stockdale. Moore. It's good play. Now Green's out wide, but it's blue and black shirts all around. Well done, Green, to get past Nishitani. Here's Cockayne. Moore. It's a good build-up, but that ball is not going to find a target. Reed's going to run onto it, but intercepted. Here's Stockdale. They're slow, patient build-ups, but they're not bad. Moore is offside. Didn't quite time the run.
Just worth noting, Paul, that there was 3 minutes of additional time indicated by the assistant referee, and it looks like Metro have decided to keep Bilardo on the sidelines for the rest of the half. She's just sort of running now to see if she's all right, but obviously that knock's caused her a bit more grief than maybe we thought. I don't think we'll see her come on before the halftime whistle.
That would be the sensible option, I would think, although obviously no one ever wants to be a player down, but Metro are not playing like they're a player down at the moment, that's for sure.
Absolutely not.
Here's Quigley. She's going to try to fix that. Now can quality ball come in? Mullen's free in the middle if they can find her. Mullen! She was closed down in the end. Calder, Quigley over her head. Back to Calder. Tries to get Rojas in. There's a bit much on it.
She'll go there.
Green and Rojas battling there.
Yep.
And it's going to be a corner now.
You called it, Nicole.
This is a, yes. Well, we've been talking about Metro's prowess from set pieces, but let's not forget that Inter scored last week from a corner as well. It's their first. Of course, Ryder got up and scored last week. She's poised again. There's the ball. It's not bad. Right, it was called at that time.
Oh.
And cleared away. And that is the halftime whistle. Metro will be very happy to hear it, and they will be very happy to be going into half-time at 1-1 in this preliminary final. Rachel Quigley getting the score underway tonight in the 4th minute to put into 1-0 ahead, and Ness Reid in the 31st minute to make it 1-1. Tonight's WNPL final series match is proudly presented by RAA. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia, home motor travel. Keep on moving with RAA. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes' time to wrap up what we've seen so far and then bring you the second half of the 2020 WNPL preliminary final. Welcome back to Football SA's live stream coverage of WNPL finals. Tonight is the preliminary final between Salisbury Inter and Metro United. The winner goes on to play Adelaide City in next Friday night's grand final. The season is over for the loser, and currently the score is Salisbury Inter 1, Metro United 1. Rachel Quigley in the 4th minute for Inter and Ness Reid in the 31st minute for Metro. There has been a substitution made after suffering a concussion. Talia Bilardo has gone off for Metro United, and she's been replaced by number 85 Tessa Calabria. So there's also been another change, it looks like, and I think it's Coimsis that's gone off, and she's being replaced by Emily Hazelwood, and that's an interesting change. Hazelwood probably gives a more attacking option than Coimsis does, so Inter possibly just trying to increase their forward play.
Sorry, Paul, I was going to say, tonight's WNPL final series is proudly brought to you by RAA. RAA, proudly supporting football in South Australia. Home motor travel, keep on moving on with RAA. Here's Tansel now down the line, and Salisbury Inter now have that strong wind behind them this half. Cut out by Stockdale. Looking down the line for Cocaine, but Calder's alert to that ball. She plays it all the way back to Fryer McLaren. Nishitani's now slotted into left back. I didn't think Coimsis was horrible, but it's obviously
a tactical substitution to get a more attacking player on. I think that's really all there is to it.
So if you did miss the first half and wanting to catch up, we have had 2 substitutions at half time. It was number 38 Bilardo for 85 Calabria for Metro. Bilardo taking a head knock and having to be withdrawn, and it was number 5 for Inter Coimsis being replaced by Hazelwood for Salisbury Inter. Commons, the ball just holding up a little bit in the wind, but done well there, Bills, looking for Cocaine. And Metro United must be absolutely delighted with how this game has gone. I mean, when we watched them play, these two teams play about 3 weeks ago, it was pretty much one-way traffic. I don't think that's unfair. The final score was 6-2, and as you said, Paul, 2 penalties were saved. Rojas now through. She's 1-on-1 with Scousey. Scousey against Rojas. Here's Kodo Rojas. Bit too much. The ball's gone, and that'll be a goal kick. Metro look like a different team.
It's as if they've set themselves for this final series. It's as if in those last, few weeks of the minor round, knowing they were safe in 4th spot. I don't know if this is what did happen, but they just got themselves set for these games. They knew these games were going to be the ones that made their season if they were successful in them. And that just seems to be the way it's played out.
Pavla Manolakos to Tansel. Down the line for Hood, great first time ball. But again, Scousey just annoying the Inter forwards and just kind of always in the way. Isabella Scousey, quality defender, formerly of Adelaide City. Did have 1 season at Adelaide United too. Very talented individual. Long throw by Tansel. She's found Rojas. Kiriaki there keeping her company. Now she's got Kuhar too. And looking for a corner is Rojas, but nothing going there. It's a clear goal kick. And just that change for Metro. Bills looks like she's joined the midfield 3, so it's now Bills, Reid and Stockdale in the middle, and Calabria's playing left wing in the forward 3, with Christy Moore now switching to the right. Wouldn't be surprised though if that does change and Moore and Calabria swap occasionally. And Calabria's first involvement is to clatter Hood, and that'll be a foul for Salisbury Inter.
And these are the sorts of areas, particularly with this breeze behind them, from which someone like Chantel Ryder can really thump one into the box to see if she can find a teammate to get their head on the ball, and that's where it goes. But it's going to be a corner. It was headed over there by by Bills. Second corner for Inter. And And as we've mentioned, the wind is blowing towards that direction.
It's picked up again.
Could cause some real havoc if the ball swings in, as it does. Commons, it's over her. It's gone all the way to the back post. It's cleared. Cockaine's out there. She's all on her own. She'll be happy to just hold the ball up. She's done really well, actually. It's given her teammates a chance to regroup. Here's Tansel for Inter. Well intercepted. Cockayne again. Metro have gotten out of jail.
Been really impressed with Green just on the ball now this season, I've got to say, coming up against her as a left attacker. Yeah, I've been really impressed.
She's certainly been very, very good this year for Metro. As we mentioned, one of a couple of players at Metro who's Rojas just dropping into the 10 position, but once again hassled out of it. Here's Kiriakou bringing the ball forward. Bills. Players screaming for it. Stockdale wasn't one of them, but that's where it went. Out to Calabria on the left. Ooh, tried to get it ball out wide, but Tansel was alive to it. It's going to come back to Stockdale. Metro are just playing really, really well. Calabria, and if we sound surprised, and if you haven't really been following the season, now they really haven't been in the same sort of form anywhere near the top 3 teams, West, Inter and City. They knocked West out last week. That was a big enough shock, and right now, even the score at 1-1, they've looked...
Referee giving that foul?
Certainly since the earlier exchanges. So there's a foot raised there, and Kuhar's got the free kick for Metro. But just as one of the observations we made last week was we thought that they were able to control the pace of the game the way they wanted, Spiro, and I feel like that's what they've done again tonight.
Yep. I have to agree, Paul, and it's been another superb performance. Okay, sure, it's early in the second half and the game is 1-1, but it's been another superb performance by Metro. I have to say, and I'll have to be honest, that when Inter came out, really, I thought, it's going to be one of those nights where maybe this game will get away from Metro, but they've performed fabulously well.
Well, they've won both matches, as we've mentioned, between these two sides earlier this year by 4 goals. Can't see that happening tonight, not the way this game's going. Kiriaku's going to deliver a free kick from just inside halfway. Some good movement up ahead of her. If she finds it, she's played it up the wing for Kuhar. It's a good ball.
Clever ball, yeah.
Kuhar inboard, Calabria, Reed, but she's being forced back. Scalzi. They've got the numbers though. Green, but well done Mullen. She's hassled Green out of it and won the ball. And now she's put Rojas on her way. Rojas up the left wing. Still going Rojas. Still going. Kiriakou clears.
Sorry, folks. The reason I was laughing is because our special guest commentator, Nicole Tilley, and I were dead in line with that, and that was clearly offside. Yeah. And Nicole just, it's off.
Linesman just got a bit caught there.
Yeah, got caught behind play, the assistant referee.
Stockdale.
Sorry, Paul.
That's all good. That's why you guys are here.
Comedy value.
Calabria. A bit of battling there between her and Hood. It's going to be an Inter throw.
Nicole, have Salisbury Inter maybe come into this game a little bit thinking we're going to steamroll this one and it's just going to happen for us?
Possibly. I mean, I'm sure they know it's a tough game and it's finals, but anything can happen. But, maybe that's something we were guilty of last week, and Metro are definitely in form, so yeah, I think they're going to have to put that foot down a little bit more to get back on top of the game.
Right now, it's definitely Metro who looking the better of teams. And Salisbury into a team full of talent, there's no doubt about it. But right now, being outshunned by a Metro United team that is working very well as a unit. maybe they don't have the same individual players as Salisbury to do, but as a team right now, they're ahead of their rivals. Scousey again, case in point. Cocaine's done well to flick that on. Pablo Manolakos, bit lazy on the ball, but managed to get it out from under her feet. Rojas tried a cheeky flick. Kiriaku's done really well, chested it down, but given it away. Cocaine, good recovery there by Stockdale. And Kuha has gone with the first time long ball, and that's travelled out for a throw-in.
Who would have ever thought in all this time we've been covering the WNPL that we'd be hailing a Metro United underdog performance?
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Usually we'll pause here.
Quigley through. It's fallen to Rojas. Rojas. Our assistant referees decided to give a hand. I think the referee's given a handball, not an offside, because the assistant referee flagged towards Metro's goals rather than flagging for an offside. So we will take that as a handball. But you're right, Paul. A couple of years ago, Metro sort of the dominant force, weren't they, in the WNPL, and now, really, 2 weeks in a row, everyone's kind of written them off, and they've sort of said, nope, we're not going to have none of that.
It's remarkable.
Here's Green. Calabria. Reed scored the goal. Apologies, that was Bills. Now it's with Stockdale. Stockdale, too much on that switch. Was the right idea. Kuha getting forward. Of course, just a reminder, folks, that if this game is tied at the end of full time, we will have extra time, and if required, penalties after that. Teams can make up to 5 substitutions in regular time, and will be allowed an additional substitution in extra time if the game goes that way.
Quickly.
Here's Rojas. Still Rojas. He's done well, Rojas. That's an excellent save.
Scousey did super well there.
Well, the assistant referee's given a goal kick, but I reckon Commons managed to make a fantastic save there. I don't know, keepers, I have a friend who's a keeper, and they get angry when that happens, because if they make a great save, they want it to be a corner so their save can be acknowledged. But Commons did make a fantastic save there.
She's a former outfield player, of course, so might not quite have that mentality. And the wind is really picking up, as you can probably hear in the mics, and causing a little bit of havoc up here with some of our things. Now, here's an opportunity for Cocaine. She's got the other side. Donna Cocaine, one-on-one with the keeper. Great defending by Chantel Ryder. She was in a position from which she could have easily... Sorry, it was Calder. Thank you, Tilly. She was in a position from which she could very easily have fouled. She was the wrong side of Cocaine, but she managed to win the ball and actually win the foul herself. Great defending, Nicole Calder. Great commentating, Nicole Tilly, to pick me up on that. Thank you. Here's Rojas.
She's about to pull the trigger, I think, and then out of nowhere.
Hood trying to take on Kuha. Kuha will win that, but it falls to Rojas. Trying to find a ball in for Quigley. Quigley, well intercepted again. Another corner though, just in the last couple of minutes. Inter have found a couple of set-piece opportunities. Nishitani's going to come up and take this one. Very accurate dead ball delivery from her. And both centre-backs are up for this one. Both Ryder and Calder.
Wind causing havoc too.
It comes in. But it's going to be won by Reed. Cocaine tries to get it on. Kuha, Stockdale, they're going to get out. Here's Calabria, tried to touch it for more, but well done Mullen. Just managed to intercept and halt the attack. Kuha at left back. It's only really got Stockdale and Calabria ahead of her. It goes to Calabria. Intercepted by Ryder. Kuha again. Pushed up another 20 or so metres. Calabria intercepted by Tansel, who's had a great game, and she sends it back up the wing. We're in the 59th minute. Tonight's WNPL Final Series match is proudly presented by RAA. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Home Motor Travel. Keep on moving on with RAA. They're just waiting for the ball to get returned to Kuhar to take another throw for for Metro on the left-hand side. Gets it back from Stockdale. In goes the ball. Well won in the end by Calder. Falls to Quigley, who tries to move it on for Mullen. She's got pace. She's got Rojas ahead of her. Scalzi's going to win that one. And Commons is going to boot it forward. It really holds up in the air. Goodness me, it's a strong wind blowing to the southern end. And it's making it difficult for Metro to get away, but they've done so. And that's not a bad effort by Moore to try to get Calabria through, but there's blue shirts everywhere, and McLaren will deal with that. Cockayne, oh, that's a big foul. And referee might have been tempted to pull out the yellow for that, but he didn't.
Mullen.
It's a foul on Mullen. Thank you, Tilly.
He's had a great game so far, I must say.
He's got a lot of pace, and as mentioned last week by Eleni Vosnakis, who was doing the commentary with us, a very combative player as well, Mallory Mullen.
Nishitani going to take the free kick here for Inter. Calder getting forward. She'll have that wind behind her. And that might go all the way. Commons is misjudged. Commons is misjudged badly, and Nishitani has put one in the back of the net for Salisbury Inter. The wind did its job. Nishitani with a long free kick. It's picked up with the wind, and Commons came out to meet it, but unfortunately for her, misjudged it. And Mina Nishitani, from halfway, mind you, has put Salisbury Inter back in front, 2-1. And some might say that's lucky, but the wind is very strong here, and there's every possibility that Nishitani knew that a ball like that might just cause the chaos. And it definitely did that. That's really unlucky for Commons. She's been superb in goals tonight. But the wind is causing a lot of havoc. And Salisbury Inter are back in front. And they'll take a big, deep breath. And a sigh of relief, Salisbury Inter, because Metro had been the better team for much of this second half. And don't count out Metro just yet. That's pretty harsh on Commons, isn't it, Nicole? You got to feel for her because she's been excellent tonight in goals, but just misjudged that one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Here's Quigley. She's giving it to Hood. Hood remains on side, but she let it run, and she gives the thumbs up to Rachel Quigley, but had a bit too much on it. And Paul, that's heartbreak for Metro.
It is. I mean, may sound harsh, but I just didn't really feel Commons had to move away. I mean, she wasn't really in a position or a situation where she had to come off her line to come and meet the ball like that. She could have really let it come to her, and well, you know, she's been supreme in the air in recent weeks and probably, you know, backed herself, but on that occasion, unfortunately, it's proved costly.
And another free kick here for Inter in a similar position.
Nice ball.
It was a very good ball. Flicked on. Rojas decided to leave for Nishitani. She might have been offside, Rojas. It was clever. What play that was. 1-2 juggles. And now with Green is Rojas. Controlling the ball beautifully. The Chilean. Stockdale did well. Stockdale looking for a free kick. Referee not interested. And Salisbury Inter are now 2-1 ahead and 1 foot in the grand final. Still plenty of time now.
64th minute. Christy Moore has played well tonight. She always does, but it's never not impressive. Here she is again. Back to Kuha. Intera pressing up, but the ball come out to Reed. Moore, great skill.
Bit of sauce.
She's got Calabria on the left. That's where it goes. Calabria on the wing. Cocaine's in the middle, but she tried to get it back to Stockdale. It falls for Stockdale. Back out to Calabria. Left foot cross. Oh, that didn't connect at all. And it's going to be a goal kick for Inter. And surely last week's experience will not make them get complacent at all. Not that I think they were complacent last week, but they really were hit hard late in the game. Tansel. Back to Calder. Claren. Ryder. And my one excuse for mixing Ryder and Calder up is that Calder wears 6, which is the number Ryder wore for Adelaide United. Flick on there for Rojas. It intercepted, and now Bill's trying to get it under control, but Mullen does. Rojas turns well. Here it is. Kose Rojas! Saved by Commons. That's the sort of opening that you see Kose Rojas make for herself so often and score from, but the keeper was equal to it on that occasion. Pavla Manolakis just smacks it forward. Kuha gets under it. Falls for Rojas though. Turns again. Rojas, she's having a couple of purple minutes at the moment. It's Pavla Manolakis. Good ball by Quigley. Nearly got through to Rojas, but it's been flicked away and Stockdale's got space. Laura Stockdale pushing forward. Moore's on her left. Intercepted by Tansel. Here comes Kuha. Metro showing a bit more urgency. They have played well, but they're 2-1 down. This is the 1-2. Kuha now tries to scoop it over, but Tansel's going to win that. Oh, her and Pavla Manolakis went for the same ball, but fortunately they didn't collide. Good tackle there by Hood. Rojas now one-on-one with Scalzi. Scalzi's done well, and Rojas has fouled her. That's a really big win there for Scalzi. She had no cover at all. She was all on her own.
Talking about Scalzi, Paul. Tony Scalzi, the coach of Metro, has some options on the bench. He's got Lauren Steer and Millie Scott, Emma Cockgrove, of course Tessa Calabria already on, and Olivia Bunge. Do you pull the trigger on any of those, Nicole, do you think? Or is it not time yet?
Oh, I mean, if you're gunning, I would probably do it sooner rather than later. Yeah, still a while, but yeah, maybe in the next 10 minutes or so. Might not be a bad idea.
Of course, Lauren Steer's a fantastic footballer in her own right, and Millie Scott, very talented youngster with a lot of pace too, so options there for Metro. And again, they're definitely in this. They've played very well. There's a bit of miscommunication there between Calabria and Stockdale. Stockdale was offside and decided to try and let it run to Kuha, but too much on it in the end. Throw in taken, Stockdale's intercepted. Here's Bills, try to get it through to Cockaigne. Calabria, first time touch, probably wasn't the best option. Stockdale. Kuha inside to Moore, great ball. Christy Moore cuts in. She had 4 interplayers for company. Is Cockaigne going to get onto an Ishitani? Dangerous to let the ball bounce. She recovered well. And it's Cockaigne now with 2 players. Done really well, Cockaigne. Great ball. Christy Moore. Ambitious. Very, very ambitious. In fact, it didn't even go out in the end. Here's Ness Reed. Stockdale has been superb again. Kuha. Long first time ball looking for Cockaigne. Plays it back. Mullen alert. Has done really well there Mallory Mullen ran out of room just in the end.
I don't have a dog in this race or in any race, Spiro, but I've got to admit I really wanted that to go in when Christy Moore went for the scissor kick.
Well, Chris, Paul, if you do want a dog in the race, mate, the greyhounds are just behind here at Velo. So.
Just as soon as I said that, I thought I'm not in the right place to use that analogy.
They've well and truly gone home for the night. We're here for a little bit longer, folks. Another 20 minutes or so to go, plus extra time if needed. That's a foul throw. Referees decided to let that go. That was a clear foul throw. Here's Green.
It's a stupid rule.
The foul throw?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to let it go. But I can't help myself. Why? Why is it a stupid rule?
Because the only reason you would stop people from throwing it any which way is to sort of stop them getting some massive advantage by, using one arm to ditch it forward. Anyway, let's pause.
Rojas cuts it along Quigley. Dangerous the ball on her feet. That's a corner for Inter. And that'll be corner number 4.
If you're just going to drop a foul, if you're just going to drop a throw 1 or 2 metres in front of you, does it really matter if you don't follow the form? Waste of time. Now, I've got that out of my system.
Well, Paul, I can give you a number for IFAB, mate, and we can just see how it goes. I kind of agree. I think they should just relax it a little bit. Anyway, Nishitani decides to go short to Calder. Nishitani swings it in back post. Quigley's free. And Reed did really well. It's just contest because Rachel Quigley, her eyes would have lit up as that ball came in. She was free on the back post. It was Ness Reed's pressure that forced the error in the end from Inter. It's a goal kick. Here's Pavla Manolakos. And Inter have definitely just gone up a little gear since that goal, haven't they? You almost feel like the pressure and the relief has really given them some extra oomph since it's gone in, and they're looking dangerous.
Now, Christy Moore on the attacking left. That's going to be the ball's just going to run away from her.
It looks like Lauren Steer is getting ready, Paul. She just... Oh, sorry. Thought she was putting on her shin pads, but she's just going to warm up.
Rojas. 2 around her. Scalzi's given her terrific attention, and that's really good play to ensure that Metro get the throw. It's only going to go as far as Hood. Here's Calabria, though. Intercepted by Calder. Herd ball's intercepted by Stockdale. Well done, Stockdale. Calabria, referee plays advantage. Cockayne just goes behind her, but she hangs on to the ball. Now she tries to get it out to the right to the overlapping green. It's cleared. They won't give this up, Metro. It's probably about 20 minutes of play left. They're 2-1 down, and they will believe they've got another goal in them. Green with the throw. Down the wing. Going to make a little bit more ground up on that right-hand side. And again. Still waiting to see if that substitution might be made. Steer's still jogging just behind the throw in there with the orange top on. Ball into Reed. Tries to get it in. It's gone in, and it's gone over the top, and it's a goal! Metro have found the equaliser! Would you believe it? Laura Stockdale! It's 2-2! And Laura Stockdale is having a fantastic final series. Absolutely fantastic. And once again, Metro have just crafted something. We could be going for a long night tonight. They deserve to be at 2-2, I think it needs to be said.
Turn the kettle on, folks. Get warm, get comfortable.
Laura Stockdale has just become Metro's top scorer for the season with league goals with 4. And Inter will be absolutely stunned. Calder. Can they get back straight away? The ball comes through all the way for Hazelwood. What a save, Commons! Well, that's made up for the goal she conceded for sure. You would have backed Hazelwood from there. Great save. She's hurt herself in the process, however.
I just wonder if she winded herself because she landed pretty heavily on the... Nope, she's limping.
Oh, that's not good.
Reserve keeper, of course, for Metro is Bunge. Maybe just a clash of legs there with Hazelwood, but no, we're on and we're off. Stockdale. Bit of a hopeful ball, that one. And Mullen now, and Metro United just will not go away. Salisbury Inter wishing they'd just pack their bags and go home and let them play in their first grand final, but Metro have got other ideas. Great switch from Stockdale. Christy Moore inside to Bills. Turned into trouble really, Bills. Easier option would have been to play back to Moore, but she turned thinking that she had an option, but she turned into 3 Inter players. And I got to say, I'm really delighted for Commons that Metro pulled one back, because she's been superb in goals, and it would have been a rough way for Metro to lose this game with that goal that Nishitani scored. I mean, it was a great hit, don't get me wrong, but it would have been harsh on the Metro goalkeeper. Calabria swings it in. Calder's done superbly well there. That'll leave a graze on the synthetic. That'll definitely be some torn skin there.
Just quickly, Tilly, when you're playing a team that you think you should beat, as I'm sure Inter probably, not arrogantly, but they've been a better side than Metro this season, and you're in this sort of situation, does it start to get frustrating? Do you start to sort of sometimes lose your focus a little bit, or your composure?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you know what your team's capable of, and if you think you're going to win and it's not happening as soon as you want, you can get impatient, and that's probably the case for Inter at the moment, especially now that Metro have equalised.
Not sure if that was a intentional corner there from Metro, but they've given it away cheaply, and they're a bit on the back foot here now. They do have numbers back, and Rojas has held on to it, played it all the way back to Nishitani. That was Metro's 5th corner for the game. Fryer McLaren. Calder now. Great pass to Quigley. Superb first touch. But guess who again? I reckon the Inter players, the Inter strikers, they're going to go to bed and they're going to wake up, and Isabella Scousi is going to be right next to them, because she has not left them alone tonight. Here's Rojas. Swings it in. Ness Reed's done really well. Nishitani misjudged. And Ryder, and again Inter look a bit rattled, like you said, Paul. They look like they dropped their bundle a little bit here, Salisbury.
I have to say, and I know it's a cliche, some of these Metro players tonight have turned back the clock. Some of them are playing, some of their best football for years, I think. Laura Stockdale is just having an amazing game, and she's had an amazing couple of weeks since coming back from injury. Scalzi, as you mentioned, is having a fantastic night. Kiriaku's playing really, really well. Christy Moore's playing well. These are players that have been, great campaigners for so long, but I think they're playing some of their best football, some of those players, as individuals as well as a team, that they have for quite a while.
Hard not to agree with that, Paul. Like we said earlier in the broadcast, Metro really the best of the rest this year.
Cockayne, I should have mentioned as well, playing really, really well, one out, often with no support up forward, or not much support.
Here's Kiriaku now stepping up for the free kick. And we've seen what she can do with free kicks. Probably not in a shooting position, so likely to be a cross. Fryer McLaren, experienced goalkeeper, will know to set up the wall to block any sort of attempt for a shot on the inside post. Kiriakou now. Swings it in hard. Christy Moore was left unmarked at the front post, and she knows that was an opportunity. And Salisbury Inter got away with one right there because Christy Moore had so much time and a space, but the header, unfortunately for her, fortunately for Inter, not on target. Rojas now, superb touch to Quigley. Quigley tries an ambitious shot, and that's not going to work for you against a keeper like Commons.
Pavlomanolakis with the header. Rojas tries to get it back with the 1-2 and does from Mullen. Rojas goes for an ambitious shot, another ambitious effort.
And you have to credit Metro's defence. They've kept Rojas relatively quiet compared to her usual standards. And
Millery Mullen, sorry to cut you off, has just gone to Rojas and put her arm around her as if she's consoling her. Is it suggesting that she's not entirely happy with things at the moment, which is another big win for Metro. Player down at the moment. No, I'm just sorry, I missed who. That
smack in the face, Ellie Bills.
Ellie Bills, thank you, Tilly.
At least one of us are on the ball here, Nicole.
I was looking in the wrong direction. But
I was looking at my feet. No, I'm joking.
The Metro players have all been called over to the bench. Well, they're all going over to get some drinks, but Tracy Jenkins definitely gestured to a few of them to get over and wants to have a chat to them. The Metro players are in two groups. The forwards have gone to get drinks at their bench. The defenders are all having a chat in the penalty area. But we're going to get going again, and Hood Bills looks like she's okay. It's going to be a drop ball. It's going to be Metro's drop ball.
While there's a small break in play, Paul, we'll just remind you that tonight's WNPL final series match is proudly presented by RAA. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Home motor travel. Keep on moving on with RAA.
So the ball was actually dropped to Inter, and Pavlomanolakis played it straight away. Quigley, Hood, great tackle by Kiriakou. Denied Rojas again. There's a nice how many of these knocks have happened tonight.
Now, Nicole, you mentioned that Mallory Mullen had a concussion not that long ago, so the Inter players are immediately concerned.
Yeah.
Because that was another heavy knock to the head. She's trying to get up.
Gee whiz.
Oh dear. Yes, we just caught another glimpse of that, and that's definitely going to hurt. And there is some concern now for Mallory Mullen.
Once again, the players are all regrouping. We're in the 83rd minute. We're probably going to have at least 4 minutes of stoppage time given these stoppages. Mullen has gone to the sideline as you'd expect. We're going to have another drop ball, or is it going to be a throw-in?
I think they've made the call straight away, Paul. I don't think we're going to see Mallory Mullen on.
Well, Condon played on last week, and she's out with injury tonight, so I'm sure that the Inter staff will be hoping that they don't have a repeat of that. Long ball from Moore. It might get to Calabria. Calabria with a good touch for Cockayne. Oh, it just went away from her. She tries to recover now. Donna Cockayne. She's forced a corner. And would you really bet against Metro possibly going in front? Stockdale going over to take it.
I think Inter are about to make that substitution, Paul. Looks like 17 is coming on.
Yeah, and that is Sophia Tipakidis. Played a lot of reserves last year, but played finals. And here she is again playing finals, the preliminary final. Sudden death match. Stockdale with the corner, 84th minute. 2-2 is the score. It's not bad, and it's flicked on. Not quite enough. Ball is cleared. Won by Green. She goes again, but no, she leaves it for Kiriakou, who puts it up the right-hand side. It's not a bad ball. Stockdale with the ball. There's just no one there on that occasion, but it's another corner and another chance for Laura Stockdale to get a quality delivery in for Metro. There are plenty of players forward. In fact, Metro have only really left a couple, Green and Scalzi, back in the centre circle. Kiriakou's up. Reid wants it at the back post again. Why not? It's not a bad corner. Reid! And oh, it's nearly fallen through. The ball's still cleared. And away. My goodness. What a moment. Kuha wants to get on with it, wants to keep the momentum going for Metro. They sense it. Gets it back, but really, really good piece of play there by Calder. Now Inter can get away, and Calder's going to get it back in a more attacking position. Great tackle. She's given away a foul there.
That one's going to hurt.
Great tackle by Kiriakou, who's been heroic tonight, just like her centre-back partner in Scalzi. And just about everyone in a white shirt.
Yeah, they have been superb, Metro, right across the park. Led, as Paul correctly just stated, by their centre-back pairing in Kiriakou and Scalzi. There's about 5 minutes of regulation time to go, plus any additional injury time. Calder comfortable with that one. Reid, of course, he scored a header in the first half for Metro. Down the line to Kuha. Calabria. He's got Tansel for company. She's done well to beat Tansel. Calabria. Oh, that was a good ball, and a bit of panic there from Chantel Ryder. There's a bit of confusion. Fryer McLaren probably had every right to call for the ball, but such has been Metro's desire and want that Ryder was not willing to take any risks.
She's been good since she came on, Calabria.
Yeah, have to agree. And that'll be corner number 8 for Metro. And they've looked dangerous from every set piece. Swung in beautifully. And referees decided to give a free kick. And I have to agree, because it looked like Fryer McLaren had control of the ball. That deep, deep breath was Nicole Tilley. He's sitting literally on the edge of her seat. Oh, Rojas is furious, but I think Rojas thought that she had the foul. But in the end, the assistant referee and the referee decided that it was actually a Metro free kick. And Nicole, with just a couple minutes to go before the end of the game, do these teams sit back now and say, all right, let's take it to extra time, or do you go for it and risk conceding one on the break? What are the options?
I don't know. I feel like Metro are going to try push for another one by the looks of how they're playing, and so are Inter. But yeah, I wouldn't think it's a bad idea just to sort of see out the full time and then first bit of extra time.
Another great touch by Rojas. That's Nicole Tilley, folks. West Adelaide striker and our special guest commentator tonight. Rojas. Great little dummy. Hazelwood was trying to let that one go through. Reid. Right idea. Execution just lacking a little bit. And we are almost at the 88th minute, heading into the 89th minute, sorry. That's a handball, or Kuha's gone down with what looks like cramp. Stockdale. She's back up on her feet. Rochelle Kuha. Great work by Quigley. Rojas trying to get onto that one, but Commons again. And I just wonder whether they will kick the ball out here, Metro, to see if Kuha needs treatment. They've decided to keep playing.
She looks okay.
Yes, you're right, Paul, thank you. Stockdale with Chrissa had a bit of a run in. Referee again deciding to play it on. Down the line. Bill's trying to get onto that pass, but unfortunately for Metro, it was intercepted by Inter. The score remains 2-2.
1 minute before stoppage time, we'll find out how much is going to be played. I suspect it's going to be 4 minutes at least, because
Yes,
we've had a lot of stoppages with, particularly with those head injuries.
Yeah, so two goals, no subs other than the ones made at half time. So probably 4 minutes about right, Paul.
Another corner for Metro. Gee, you just get that anticipation every time, don't you?
A few Metro supporters in front of us. They get next.
There's even a hand clap going on for it. They've got a lot of fans just behind, on the outer side, just behind where the team substitute benches are. Stockdale up to take it.
Yeah, we got the slow clap, the Merv Hughes run up.
Here it comes. In the board. There's a shot. It's straight at the end, and it still hasn't been cleared.
Oh
my goodness, that's the second time that the ball's just been ping-ponging around in the inter area. And
Wow.
Inter have survived. Great win there by Calder, but Scalzi sends it back. Tansel wins it, but it falls to Stockdale. She's got space. There is going to be 4 minutes now. Can she get the ball in? Back to Stockdale. Moore. Hooked away by Tansel, but Inter are panicking. They just cannot get control of the ball at all. And more than once, they've been at 6s and 7s in their penalty area, and they're really lucky that they haven't gone behind. Metro still in attack on the attacking right-hand side. Kicking towards the northern end. That's going to be intercepted. Are we going to go to extra time, or is there still going to be one more goal before the full-time whistle? 2-2 in this preliminary final. Scalzi has got Kuhar on the left. There's lots of blue and black in front of her. She just tries to hook it forward for Calabria, but there was no space for her. Inter will have the throw. Tansel. It would almost be, amazingly, it would almost be a shock if it were Inter that scored, if there were to be a goal before the end of this game, before the end of full time anyway. Stockdale. Kiriakou goes long, looking for more. Tansel will win that. Calder. Hood. Tries to get through quickly. Well done, Kiriakou. She wins it twice. Oh, huge clash between her and Hood, and they're both down. The players are playing on. Green has just put it out. Kiriakou gets up. Hood is still down. It was all ball by both players, but it was a massive clash. My goodness. Well, these players are playing for keeps.
I tell you what.
I've seen videos of aircraft accidents that haven't looked as intense as that just was. Unbelievable.
There was no way Ebony Kiriakou was backing out of that.
No.
And well done to Hood for not pulling out either. That was excellent by both players.
And for still being alive. Rojas loses out again. It's not been her night, but she may still have a say. Hazelwood still with control. Kiriakou up against her. It's going to be a goal kick. No, it's a corner.
No, it was a corner. Definitely a corner.
It's a corner. And Inter might have the chance with their 5th corner. We are in the 4th minute of stoppage time. You would think that a goal now would be the last of the game. Here it comes. Ryder! It was a chance. But I think we are going to go the distance tonight. And possibly then some. Commons now with the goal kick. We can tell you, if you can't see it, well, you can see it on your screen, but it's 3 minutes and 47 seconds. The referee must be poised. Rojas towards the corner flag, will get control. Will she try to do it herself? Cote Rojas with the ball. And that is full time. It's 2-2. We've got another half an hour to come, folks. Go and make your tea quickly. Go and grab yourself a snack. We're not done here yet at Vallo for the preliminary final of the 2020 WNPL. Nicole Tilley, how can you sum up that 90 minutes?
Yeah, that was exciting, especially that last 10. Metro, well, I think for the majority of the game they looked the better team, but you know, it's 2-2. So hats off for Inter for sticking it to them, I guess, and they're getting some opportunities as well, but not quite as much as Metro, I guess.
Tonight's WNPL Final Series match is proudly presented by RAA. RAA, proudly supporting football in South Australia. Home motor travel. Keep on moving on with RAA. We're going to take a very small break so I can text my wife and tell her to keep the front door unlocked. And we'll be back in a few minutes, folks. Welcome back to Varlo Sports Centre here in the northern suburbs of Adelaide. You are watching the 2020 preliminary final, the WNPL preliminary final between Salisbury Inter and Metro United. We are headed into extra time, folks. The game ended 2-2 at the end of 90 minutes. And it was an amazing, amazing 90 minutes. Inter twice getting in front and Metro twice pegging them back. Tonight's WNPL Final Series match is proudly presented by RAA. RAA, proudly supporting football in South Australia. Home motor travel. Keep on moving on with RAA. My name is Spiro. With me is my regular co-commentator in Paul. And we are joined tonight by our expert commentator in Nicole Tilley, West Adelaide striker. Paul, Tilley, how do we sum up that 90 minutes? In 10 seconds.
Intense.
You really can't.
You only need one word.
Yeah, agreed.
Bedlam. I'm going with Bedlam. Immense?
Immense.
Yeah, immense is better.
It's why we're here. It's why people pay their money. It's why you're watching at home. 30 more minutes to come and possibly even a shootout. Metro trying to start where they left off. His Bills. Ryder intercepted.
Just confirming no substitutions made at the end of 90 minutes, so it's the same 22 players that left the park. They've re-entered. Both teams have only made... Metro have made... no, they've made one each, haven't they? Sorry, I do stand corrected.
Yeah, two by Inter. Hazelwood came for Coimpsis and Tipakidis came for Mullen.
Thank you. Yes, it was the Mullen one that I forgot.
And for Metro, Calabria on for Bilardo. Calabria's been really, really good. She was really good in that second half. Metro kicking the same way in this first half of extra time as they were in the second half of normal time. They've just given away a goal kick.
Of course, there's no sort of golden goals or anything like that. It's a full 30 minutes, 15 minutes each way. And if the score remains tied at the end of extra time, it will go into penalties.
It's going to be a Metro throw. Kuhar tries to get up to Cockayne. Tansel will win it, but it comes back. Can Cockayne win that? No, she can't. Tansel again. Clears for Inter. And Isabella Scalzi's going to have to do the ball collecting to get it back to her teammate Kuhar to take this throw.
I'm surprised she just didn't stand on the sideline. The ball just came to her. She's had it on a string tonight.
Yeah, she's played very well. And Metro working the ball up the attacking left. Stockdale leaves it for Kuhar again.
Looks like Tipakidis has joined the four-person defence for Inter, with Calder now in the midfield.
Now, can Inter clear? It's only gone as far as Reed. Oh, no. How many could there be? Goodness me.
That's number 4.
Wow. That's
not good.
It's a huge amount of head knocks, and Reed is the latest to cop one. She looks probably better than others that have had one come at them in the face. She's up pretty quickly, so hopefully that's good news. Pretty tough customer, of course, Ness Reed.
Scored a fabulous goal in the first half.
Certainly did. She's going to walk off to the sideline.
Nicole, have you played in many games that have gone to extra time? Obviously, the grand final last year was one.
Ouch.
Yes, sorry. We really haven't given you much tonight, have we? We keep throwing you under that bus that keeps driving past. But how do players who aren't used to playing 120 minutes get sort of adjusted for this next 30 with fitness? Do you sort of pick your moments where you make those runs to reserve energy? How do you approach the next 30?
I think it's just a matter of giving it your all. Obviously, if you've got substitutes to come on to take your spot. I know last year in the grand final we had girls down cramping everywhere. Yeah, obviously your body's not used to it. But, yeah, just digging deep, doing all you can, because, yeah, it's do or die for these two tonight.
Calder, that's a great header. Rojas has gotten onto it. Scalzi was beaten.
Ooh.
And Rojas's first-time effort flashed wide of the post. And Isabella Scalzi did not see Rojas running in from behind her. And by the time she noticed the Chilean, it was too late. And that's the type of night that Rojas has been having, though. You'd expect her to get that on target at least. But flash wide of the post. Stockdale to Cockayne. Ryder right there. Good switch. Green. It's been very impressive at right back. Christy Moore, great dummy on Nishitani, and then burns her. Nishitani trying to play catch up on Christy Moore. Christy Moore's experience telling, though, cuts back in. Green now. Looking for the overlap of Kuhar. Great ball by Green. Kuhar, first time left-footed cross. Was a great ball, but she only had one person to aim for. And Inter comfortable. Now it's with Kiriakou. Long ball by Kiriakou. Calder's gotten there. Flicked on by Hazelwood. But again, Ebony Kiriakou. to the feet of Green. Green and Nishitani. Green goes to the byline. Too much on that. Nishitani has way too much skill and experience to let Green get past her in that situation, and sees it go for a goal kick. Taken quickly. Here's Ryder. Rojas. Hazelwood to Quigley. Rachel Quigley couldn't get the 1-2 happening. Calabria has been good since coming on at half-time. Rojas now. He's got Hood on the outside. Finds her. Hood swings it in. Well done by Commons. Very confident. Easily collected. And these first sort of 6 minutes here in extra time, it's almost like we've started again. Both teams sort of trying to feel each other out a little bit. Stockdale. Gee, that's well done by Tansel, because if she hadn't gotten away with that, Calabria was definitely getting onto that. Hood. Pavla Manolakos. Rojas. Scousey again. I mean, if they awarded a medal for best player on ground in the preliminary final, it would be hard not to give it to Isabella Scousey, in my opinion. She's been absolutely superb in defence. And Metro, again, really just making a contest out of this when many people would have said they didn't have any right to. And arguably, on the night, they've probably been the better team. Scousey again. Reed. Calabria. Tansel's misjudged that one. And she's done well to recover Shani Tansel, but Kuhar collects. Reed got the tissues in the nose. And Fryer McLaren decides to go really quickly, and that's an excellent ball by Fryer McLaren. And here's Rojas now. Rojas is through one-on-one. She's taken it too far, and it's hit the post. And Scousey may be asking for a handball there, but I think that probably clearly hit Rojas in the back paw. And
well, that's how I saw it.
Yeah. And that's Rojas has probably as close as Rojas has gotten tonight.
Commons goal kick is going to be won by Calder. Rojas is surely offside there, and yes, that was the decision.
Well, I will say one thing, Paul. I'm glad extra time was this week and not last week. Because if it was last week, folks, we might have swam out of here. But it's a beautiful Adelaide night.
It certainly is. Of course, it was a beautiful night 2 weeks ago. Last week was... So presumably that's what's going to happen next week for the grand final. Let's hope not. Here's Stockdale. Good ball in. Can Moore get onto it? It's just a little bit over her. Fryer McLaren will get there. Uses the full distance of the box and tries to get it long out to Rojas. I've used that tactic a lot. Hasn't really worked so far yet. But on that occasion, no, they haven't got the corner. It's going to be a goal kick.
Gee, looked like a corner. Is that what you saw, Nicole? Looked like it came off Kiriakou?
Looked like it to me, but I thought he was pointing to the corner more so. But
to be fair, Rojas was not at all worried by that decision. She's going to get onto this one. Kiriakou. Rojas wins it. Still going. Kiriakou not letting her go. Rojas makes some room. Tries to get it out to Quigley! That was probably one of the better moves that Inter's made probably since about half-time. And Rojas just finally just getting herself that little pocket of space to create the chance. Rachel Quigley didn't get the direction she wanted. Now, can Inter have a bit of a attacking spell? They surprisingly haven't had many for quite some time. Ryder. Tansel's got space overlapping on the right-hand side. Into Rojas. Stockdale will clear that away, but only as far as Pavla Manolakos. Now, here comes Bill Hood. Kuhar's won that. Hood again. with the throw. Calder's come up. That's going to go over Rojas. It might go for a corner though. That's what Calder wants. She can let it go all that way, but I reckon they've got it. Yes, they have. 6th corner for Salisbury Inter. Nishitani to come over and take it. We're in the 11th minute of the first period of stoppage of extra time. Nishitani now with the left foot. It's high and it's gone all the way. Ryder didn't get as much as she wanted on it. There's Calder. It's just not coming down. Rojas has it. Wants to turn. Still Rojas. And still Kase Rojas! That could have been the moment.
Wow.
But after she'd done all the hard work, it seemed Tilly, she'd done the hard parts, and it looked like at that point that scoring would have been the easier bit.
Yeah. Thought for sure that she would have put that one away.
She's found something a little extra in this first period of extra time as Kode Rojas. She's looking as dangerous as she usually looks. And getting in behind a few times. Calder now. Reed did really well to get in the way there. Pablo Manolakos. She did well to get that onto Rojas. And Quigley's shot, in the end, wasn't too bad.
Good effort.
Yeah, it was a good effort because it fell awkwardly for her and went over the bar, but didn't go over by much in the end.
Tell you what, one thing that's really started to work for Inter in these last few minutes is moving Calder into midfield. She's making her presence felt.
Yep, and there she is, Paul, just on cue, winning that header. Stockdale's done well. It's a Metro free kick. Kuha down the line. Calabria. That ball's gone out, and that'll be an Inter throw just on the halfway line. Tonight's WNPL Final Series match is proudly presented by RAA. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Home Motor Travel. Keep on moving on with RAA. Nishitani scored an absolute bomb at the start of the second half. Probably a contender for goal of the week. Quigley. Rojas. She's got Hood on the outside, decides to cut inside. Oh, almost got it to Quigley. But guess who was there? Isabella Scalzi. Kuha with a long ball hurled up in the wind, and that's confidently won by Ryder. Stockdale. Bit of a touch to Calabria. It was a tired touch from Stockdale. Really gave Calabria a lot to do, and they've turned it over Metro to Inter. Here's Calder, who, as Paul correctly said, has been involved in most good things in this first period of extra time for Inter. Hazelwood, not a bad little first-time shot, and caught Calabria off guard. And I tell you what, that did not miss by much. And there's a few of the Inter players with their heads in their hand. And I think that was much, much closer than Commons would like to admit as we head into the final minute of this first half of extra time.
When these teams last met, Hazelwood scored an absolute bomb from long distance. Nearly got an even more valuable goal then. Now Scalzi. Rojas is offside. Not happy about the decision. It's going to be another Metro free kick, another chance for them to ease the pressure. There's only 1 minute left.
It would have been a tight call, Paul. I thought Rojas was just on. Engaging by Scalzi's sort of attempt to intercept, you would suggest that even Isabella wasn't sure that whether Rojas was clearly off or not.
Well, you wouldn't take any chances, that's for sure.
Well, that's true too.
Pavlo Manolakis hooks it back over Kuha's head. It's going to be a throw for Metro. We're very close to the half-time of extra time whistle. Of course, what a reward for Metro if they get through to the grand final after having to keep the likes of Rojas and Quigley quiet. Then, you know, they just get to take on Dorber and Powell and Di Bartolo and Hodgson and Holmes.
Sasaki's.
Yeah, why not?
Campagnoli. we could keep going.
Yeah, it's
The Mac defence. Actually, Adelaide City would be watching this and be delighted.
well, they'd be delighted. This has gone to extra time, that's for sure. Here's Calabria. Oh, goes the Megs, if you don't mind. But then Hunt did all her good work. 1 extra minute in this period of extra time. Rojas, there's enough time for her. Scalzi just gets a couple of headers away. Hooked away by Kuha. Pavla Manolakis. Rojas tries to get back in. Well robbed of it by Reed. Hazelwood trying to pull the trigger. No, she's given it away. Now here's an advantage for Calabria. Cocaine.
Good refereeing.
And there he was indeed good refereeing. And some room for Bills. It's going to be a throw. Is there enough time for Metro to launch an attack? I don't think there will be. I think we might get a whistle any second now. Well, it's still there. Cocaine. Can she get onto it? Donna Cocaine, but it's gone over everybody. And that is half-time of extra time. It's still Salisbury Inter 2, Metro United 2 in the 2020 WNPL preliminary final. Tonight's WNPL final series matches proudly presented by RAA. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Home, motor, travel, keep on moving on with RAA. Tilly, that was a better half or a better period for Inter. Do you think that that gives them some momentum now to carry into the second half, or might things flip again?
Yeah, 100%. I think they were on top of Metro by quite a bit there. So it's going to be a little bit harder for Metro to get back into it. But yeah, hopefully they can come back and can be another blockbuster second half.
Inter found something in that first period of extra time. But Metro, yeah, they're not out of it. I think they've just given so much. They look slightly more tired than Inter. Is that an unfair statement, do you think? I think Inter look a little bit fitter at this point.
Well, they are a younger team, and they would probably have a little bit of an edge in that sense. But with just 15 minutes to go, there's enough time. I mean, that's enough time to, if Metro were to go down that path, to just try to say, well, we'll hold what we have and go for penalties. I don't think they'll be entirely like that, Metro. It would be contrary to the way they've played this game so far tonight, but certainly if they do feel that they're on the back foot, they could just try to bottle it up, and obviously we know they're capable of doing that.
Do you practice penalties at training before games like this, Nicole?
Before finals we do, yeah. But apart from that, no, not really.
Do you like them? Do you take one?
Well, normally when we win a penalty, everyone else walks away, so I'm the penalty taker.
Oh, take that as a yes.
Okay, good luck, Tilly. Bye.
Oh, dear.
I hope that's verbatim. Oh, here we go.
Second half has kicked off here. The score is Salisbury Inter 2, Metro United 2. Second half of extra time, we should say. And of course, if this score remains, or if the score is indeed a draw at the end of the game, we'll have penalties. And the winner of tonight will play Adelaide City in next week's WNPL Grand Final. That'll be here at Velo at 8:15 kickoff, that is, folks. Reserves will be at 6 p.m. But the main game, which we will bring to you, will be at 8:15.
And then for those wondering, the Reserves Grand Final will be between Adelaide University and Adelaide City.
Thank you, Paul. Calabria. Stockdale. Looking for more. That'll be Nishitani's, I would say. Bit of a heavy touch, but she's done well. Nishitani. Kiriakou. I'm not sure if Stockdale meant that, but it's come off. Bills. Knee. Reed. And I think Moore will be onside. Yes, she will be. Christy Moore to the byline. It's a great cross. Tansel's done well. And Ryder follows up. Hazelwood. Oh, great turn by Hazelwood. Looks down the line. Rojas. She's offside.
Yeah.
That was a correct decision. She's not happy, but that was absolutely spot on by the assistant referee on the far side. And again, Kiriakou and Scalzi have done magnificently well against Quigley and Rojas. And now Metro do have the wind. So Kiriakou will probably look to try and drop this one in the danger area. And we saw just how much trouble can be caused by a free kick with this wind. It's a good ball, but Calder's gotten onto it. Flicked on. Metro through. Cockayne! She scored. Donna Cockayne has scored, and Metro United have taken the lead here in the second half of extra time. Can you believe it, folks? We have a massive, massive upset on the cards here at Velo. Metro United have taken the lead 3-2, and Salisbury Inter cannot believe what just happened. It was the long ball, it caused enough confusion, and Donna Cockayne side-footing the ball past Fryer McLaren, who was stranded in the Salisbury Inter goal. Nothing the goalkeeper could do, and Metro United are in front.
Heroic. There's no other word for it. Inter on the back foot now, can probably barely believe what's happening. Calder. It's going to be a corner. Inter will try to hit back straight away. But this is absolutely as good as this game can get. What an unbelievable match it's been, and there's still a bit to go. Can Inter get a quick equaliser? Oh. Calder was up there, but wasn't able to get anything on that header to trouble anybody, and it's going to be a goal kick. It really is extraordinary what we're seeing. This Metro side, you know, they look down and out this season. Here's Quigley trying to get them back into that sort of state. Quigley! That's intercepted again. And no way through. Oh, big challenge, but it was all ball. Stockdale turns away. She's got Pavla Manolakis for company. Good play. Metro now have got 3 forward. Here's Cockayne, goal scorer. And it's a throw to Metro, but they missed the finals last year. They just really limped into them this year. This team were gone for all money. They were yesterday's heroes. But they've got another shot in the locker, Metro United. And they might be heading against all odds to the 2020 Grand Final. 10 minutes and a little bit is what they've got to survive. They hadn't been in front all night until Donna Cockayne scored. That's the sort of fight they've had in this encounter. It's the sort of fight they've had in the finals. Calabria burst through. Too many bodies around her, but it's going to come out to Reed. Stockdale just moving like it's the first 10 minutes, not the last 10. And she's forced another throw in for Metro. These are the terms they will want to play these last 10 minutes on. Throw in now. The corner is not a bad place to be. Can they force one? No. Inter will be able to get the ball away. Quigley. Oh, that's really good play. Finds the overlapping Ryder. Ryder now can push forward. Rojas has got a bit of space. Kiriakou goes with her. Rojas brings it in board, but it really has not been her night. Now it might break to Calder in midfield. Calder just hooks the ball over to try to find Rojas, but Commons should win that. That one's the one that the goalkeeper wants. And she's able to bump it forward. Now Cockayne is on the moon. She's got Tansel for company and Tipakidis.
She's nearly kicked it out for a goal kick.
It's a massive kick.
This is the second time all season that Metro United have scored 3 goals. The last time was against the NTC. What a time to find your goal scoring boots for Metro. And that'll be a corner. And you have to think that Tracy Jenkins must be thinking of throwing some players on and just going for it any moment now. And it's going to be a crazy 8 or so minutes before the final whistle blows. Short corner taken. Probably a little bit too early to try and waste some time here, Metro. They're going to do it anyway. Again, Stockdale and Calabria look like they're going to take the short corner. Referee asking the Inter players to respect the 10-metre rule. And that wind's picked up, as you can hear. Again, that'll be a Metro ball. Inter just need to keep composed here. They will get possession eventually. There it is. And you probably just heard that through the microphone, someone yelling, hurry up. And they've got about 7 minutes to find something here, Salisbury Inter. Nishitani. Down the line, Quigley. Started ridiculously well, Rachel Quigley. Scored in the 4th minute. A superb turn and goal, but it's been well held since. Chantel Ryder, just inside her own half. Long ball into the box, Chantel Ryder. She's got good purchase on that against the win. Pavla Manolakos. Well, that's a bit of a dangerous knockback, but Calabria comfortable in the end. And Paul, I reckon you might be able to catch that one.
Oh.
Almost. That was very close, folks. That was a little too close for comfort. Might have hit the camera, and we might have just had to tell you what the score was on the website afterwards. Foul throw, definitely a foul throw, but the referee letting it play, but Nishitani's throw-in was against the rules. But Inter will take it, and they will have a free kick in a dangerous position. Is that frustrating as a player when the referee just turns a blind eye to that, Nicole?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there should be any foul throws in this competition, but there seem to be heaps lately.
Nishitani over the ball. Interestingly, she's shaping up to hit it with her right. Is she?
She's both-footed.
Both-footed?
She's unreal, yeah. Whatever she feels like.
Nishitani, good hit. Oh, Commons has done superbly well. That'll be a corner because that was going into the top corner. And Commons has plucked that one under supreme pressure. And that'll be into a corner. That'll be number 7 for Salisbury Inter. And Nishitani was clever, takes the corner on her right foot. Stockdale there. Rojas, hopeful shot. Was always going to be difficult. Calder. But Commons again. 5 minutes to go.
Huge kick from Commons. It's gone a long way up as well as a long way forward. Tansel. Crowd are getting very involved in this game, and the players' temperatures are going up. But there is a grand final on the line, and you would expect nothing less. Metro with the throw. There are 4.5 minutes to go, plus any stoppage time from this period of extra time. Cockayne towards the corner flag. She'll stay there all day if they let her. Throw in. Metro will be in absolutely no hurry to take it. Kuhar comes forward. 5 minutes, yells out one of the players. That's going to end up being an Inter kick. Fryer McLaren gets on with it. Nishitani now has some space. Metro retreat. Up the wing, straight to Reed, straight to Moore. Moore just thumps it straight back to McLaren. McLaren tries, the ball holding up awfully for her. It's very heavy wind blowing towards the southern direction, the southern goal. And that playing into the hands of Metro right now. They can sense this. So many of these Inter players, they haven't played in a grand final, and so many of these Metro players have. And tonight was going to be the night that Inter qualified for their first ever WNPL Grand Final. So many people thought. But they are, if they don't score, 3 minutes away from going out in straight sets. What no team wants to happen to them. And Metro could even be looking for a sealer here. Doesn't quite come to Cockayne. Oh, but there's a miss kick. Moore. Christy Moore! It's hooked away. It might only go as far as, oh no, it's fallen for Rojas. But a great tackle by Green. And Green brings it up the wing for Moore. Christy Moore. And she wins the throw. The game management of Metro coming to the fore. They're keeping the ball in their attacking half. But that's going to be an Inter throw. So many calls of get on with it, hurry, hurry. Nishitani going as fast as she can. Calder.
Ow, ow, ow. Sorry.
Well, that's happened right in front of us.
Oh.
And both Calder and Reed, two hard at it players, in a big collision there. And Reed is hurt. I think Calder is too, but not as badly. She's on her feet. Well, Ness Reed, I think her night might be over.
Yeah, that's...
Christy Moore is, I think, telling them that the trainer's going to come out. And just when we thought we might have seen the last of these physical clashes that were leading to these injuries, I hope that everyone gets out of this game unscathed. It would be really awful if, you know, whichever side wins this, you know, we're down players for next week. Reed's going to be able to come back on.
Last minute.
We probably will have one extra one, I'd say. That ball is going to be too much for Calder.
Just got to go. Just got to go for it now, Salisbury. You've got to go throw everybody up. Whether you lose 4-2 or jag a 3 or draw, it's irrelevant now. Well, it's not irrelevant for a 3 or draw. Losing 4-2 is irrelevant now. They just got to go for it.
Ball comes through to Cockayne. She tries to take it up the wing. Nishitani will make sure it's a throw. Ryder takes it quickly.
Clever.
Into trying to get forward now. Through Tipakidis. Up the right wing. It's gone too far. 10 seconds left. We're about to see the board go up. How many extra minutes? 1 or 2?
They're calling last drinks at the saloon, Paul. The lights are about to flicker.
We're just waiting for the... it's 2 extra minutes. Hold on, folks. Metro working the ball up the line. This is exactly what they did last week in this same situation. Of course, it wasn't extra time then. But minutes before full time, just keeping stoppages in play. Calder trying to bustle through. She's going to win the throw. Throw in now. Ryder tries to head it on. Metro are going to get the ball away to Cockayne. She's going to try to hold it up. It's going to be another Inter throw. They're throwing everything forward now. They've only got one player back, plus their keeper. But they just can't burst through, and it's a Metro throw. 1 minute down, 1 to go in stoppage time of the second half of extra time. Anywhere will do for Metro. Nishitani having to catch the ball. It's going to go into touch. The rain's coming down. It's all happening.
So much for a beautiful Adelaide day. It's raining.
Fryer McLaren going into the very heavy breeze. Long. Riders up there. Calder. Won by Stockdale. Still going Stockdale. Plays it into the corner, out for a throw in. They're close now. 20 seconds possibly only remaining. Metro United, champions in 2016, runners-up in 2018. Will they be back in the grand final again? 2 years later, this is the last chance. Rojas, can she get it back? Cote Rojas, handball, handball. It's a free kick for Metro. It's over. They're back. Metro United are in the grand final. Do you believe in miracles?
I can't believe what we've just witnessed tonight. I cannot believe what we've just witnessed tonight. How fantastic is football, everybody? Metro United, from nowhere, folks, will be playing in a grand final next week against Adelaide City. And based on tonight's performance and the way they played last week, who can begrudge them that opportunity?
And who would count against them?
Yes, true.
What an effort. What an amazing finals campaign. It would be awful, I think, if they ran out, if it ran out of steam on the big stage next week. But they've got fight and they've got heart. And what they showed tonight was just every ounce of that. Their ability to set up, their ability to execute a plan. Tilly, and this might be not the nicest question to ask, but you guys were upset by them last week. Does seeing this make you think, well, you know what, they were actually pretty good, and that had a lot to do with that result?
Yeah, I guess it makes me feel a little bit better now that they're going to be playing in the GF, but yeah, I thought they were great tonight. Their defence was super solid, in particular. Ebony and Izzy at the back were just winning every single ball. Unfortunately for Inter, they were in form and then just wasn't quite happening for them, which I feel for them a little bit, but that was us last week, I guess.
Let's quickly reflect on Salisbury Inter, now that you mentioned it, Nicole. Finished second. They were 5 minutes away from playing in the grand final last week, and Dylan Holmes decided that she wasn't going to have any of that. They were up 1-0, 2-1 tonight, and they've gone down 3-2. Do you reflect on this season and think we did well, or do you say opportunity missed?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to go first, Tilly, on that one?
I'd say opportunity missed, yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I think they've had a lot of new players come in, so the only thing would be, they haven't quite gelled in time, but I think they definitely have got a lot of individual talent, and they have, they're gelling well together as a team. But yeah, tonight I just think, Metro were just a bit too strong.
Let's have a look at some of the statistics from tonight's game. Total shots 29-13 in favour of Inter, 12 on target to 4. Corners ended up in favour of Metro, 11-7. The fouls 14 for Inter and 8 for Metro. Their fouls 4. Offsides 5-1 in favour of Inter. Yellow cards, 1 yellow card and no red cards. It's going to be an amazing spectacle next week. This Metro team that's come from the clouds, and they would be riding high on this success. The question is, do they have one more in them?
Well, that's what I was saying before. I hope this wasn't their grand final, because, we want to get a great game next week. If you think back in so many previous years, when a team has really, really battled their way through to a grand final, and sometimes they're spent when they get there, mentally, emotionally, as not just physically. But, this side knows what they've shown in this fortnight. They know exactly how to play these games. 2 years ago, they were the favourites, probably narrowly, in that grand final against City. And I think they let themselves down that day. I think they were, not at their best at all. And, lost that game. But It's going to be a Metro City final for the third time in 5 seasons. 2016, the even numbers, 2016, 2018 and 2020. They've had 1 win each so far, and one of them will make it 2 grand final wins out of 3 against their great rival.
You would have seen on your screens not that long ago, Tracy Jenkins got all her Inter players in a circle and just having a chat to them. They are distraught, but the successful Metro team are delighted. I think just a quick straw poll. I think we've taken a quick straw poll up here and we've gone with Isabella Scalzi as player of the match.
100%.
Yeah.
She was superb in defence for Metro.
Well, she comprehensively won the battle with Rojas. Let's make no mistake there.
Yeah.
And that is a tough battle to win. They don't come much harder than that.
Metro are heading to the change rooms as winners tonight. Inter remain on the pitch. They're still having a chat. They've had a fantastic year, Salisbury Inter, but it wasn't to be their night. We're going to take our leave too, folks, and we're going to be back next week for this WNPL 2020 WNPL Grand Final. It'll be Adelaide City versus tonight's winners, Metro United. For one last time, thank you so much to RAA, amazing supporters of football in South Australia. We appreciate all their support for local football. Thank you so much to the RAA. Paul Marcachetti, fantastic. Thank you so much for your hard work tonight.
Thank you.
Nicole Tilley, thank you so much for bringing some expertise to the broadcast. It's good night from us here at the Football SA broadcast team, and we'll catch you at 8:15 next week for the grand final. It'll be Adelaide City versus Metro United. Good night.